Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be these clothespin guardian angels. Now this is the second one I've designed on my channel. I'll put a link in the description box for the first one. But I love these. These make the best gifts, and every time I've gifted one, they are just like, this is so amazing, so cute, you know, and they just love them. Anyway, so I love these. And I do want to mention, in the first guardian angel tutorial that I did, if you go down into the description box and click the link, there will be a, you will see on the first guardian angel, there's a square, or well, more of a rectangle shape, plastic little sleeve, and then inside of that is a little poem I wrote that you can attach to your guardian angel and gift it with that little poem. I didn't do it with these only because ink is like super expensive and I don't have, I don't want to go buy ink, so I didn't make them for this one, but definitely check that out so you can see that little poem because it's pretty cute. Or you could just, I guess I could have done it for this. I didn't even think about it. You could just write the poem down and then, you know, gift it that way. Anyway, alright, so that is today's tutorial. So I want to first say that for the purposes of the tutorial, the one that we make in the video is actually made using 4-weight yarn. Here's the little halo. It's the exact same pattern with the thread, okay? You follow the exact same pattern. I do want to say, and at the end of the video I say this also, I could not find anything to put this 4-weight yarn angel dress and halo on to make a pretty angel. So if any of you figure out something to use, or you know, you make one, let me know, because I would really like to make one, because I think this is just perfect and I'd love to have something. Anyway, so if you come up with anything that you can put this on to make an angel, let me know. Okay, so let's talk about what you're gonna need. So, you know, if you want to make the 4-weight, I used Red Heart Super Saver white, and then what is this? Oh, Mainstays from Walmart in the color pink V. And then I just used a 4mm hook. Okay, so for the thread ones, I used, where's it at? Size 10 thread, and I highly recommend the thread that Hobby Lobby sells. It is so soft and perfect. I'm trying to get my little sleeve. I always put the sleeve to my thread inside of the thread so I can keep it. But this is what Hobby Lobby sells, the size 10 crochet thread. And like I was saying, I definitely recommend that thread because it works up perfectly. And then for the white, for the wings and the border of the dress, Hobby Lobby also sells this, and you can see there's a strand of tinsel that runs around it. It's a size 10 thread, and it's perfect. I love this. Having said that, the thread from Aunt Lydia's, it does work. Like, this is Aunt Lydia's thread, this green. So if you know you don't want to do that, buy thread from Hobby Lobby, you can go ahead and, you know, use the Aunt Lydia's. The only thing I will say is, if I were you, I would not use Aunt Lydia's white. I hate that thread. And I don't like to say hate. I never say hate, but man, I don't like that thread. It hurts. It's not soft. It's not a pretty thread. It's just ugh. Okay, so I also used a 2mm crochet hook. And then you're going to need scissors and, of course, a sharp needle to weave in your ends. This is not the one I used. I just grabbed it because it's sitting there. And then I used a hot glue gun to glue the little halo to the back of the clothespin. And I do recommend, now you can use stitch markers. Oop, I didn't mean to drop that. Stitch markers, or you can use you know, strands of yarn, but what I do recommend is that you get 9 strands of yarn, 9 stitch markers, what have you. There is one round, I have it wrote down, round 8, that the strands and or stitch marker are going to come in so useful, because there is a portion, I think it's it starts somewhere with these front posts. And it really helps you out. So I do recommend to get 9 something as stitch markers. The yarn actually was really helpful. Let's see. Oh, and then of course the clothespin pieces. So I will have a link in the description box that I got these off of Amazon, and it comes with a little stand. I think you get 50, maybe? I really don't remember right now, but it'll be in the description box. Let's see, is that it? Let me put your thread or your yarn. Yeah, and that's it. All right. Oh, and I do want to mention, if you, ow, that's hot. If you want to put like a bow or a little flower or something right there, you can. I kind of wanted to leave this one, let the stitches do, you know, show the work, which, I mean, you can kind of see it better in this green one, the front post and the shells. Okay, so that is it. Yeah, get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. All right, to get started, let's get a slip knot on our hook. As always, make sure you have plenty of tail to weave in. And we are going to start with a chain of 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? So I'm going to drop my working yarn, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring this first chain up. Sound like a helicopter going over. Our first chain up to our work, and we're going to do that without twisting our chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it from the bottom and turn it and bring it right up to where I'm working. So I'm going to hold that tail and then get my yarn back on my hand. All right. Now right into that first chain, I'm going to slip stitch. There we go. Slip stitch to form a ring. Just like that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get that tail and pull it through our ring. And then that's going to rotate our chain just like this. So now it's like if we put this on our finger, it would be a ring, and all we would see is the front of our chains. That's what we want. Okay? All right. So once you get your chain just like this, go ahead and chain 1. And now to start our angel, we are going to work 2 double crochet right back into that same chain that we just slip stitched into. So yarn over, go right in there with 1 and 2. And then into that next chain, we're going to work 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Okay. Now we are going to work, let me show you real quick. We're going to work these little sleeve / wing area. So it's going to bunch up a whole lot of stitches into this little area. Okay. So it's going to come up real high like that. Focus here. Like this. Ooh. So for those of you that are working this with thread, this part might get a little tricky, but I think you guys have got it. Okay, so we are going to chain 1 into the next chain. We're going to work a shell. So for the purpose of this pattern, a shell is a double, chain one, double, chain one, double. So basically it's 3 double crochet with a chain one in between each. All right, so we've got our 2 into the first chain, 2 into the second chain, chain one, come down to that next chain, and we're going to work the shell. So like I said, it's a double. It's a little hard to see. There we go. Double, chain one, go back in there, double, chain one, go back in there with a double. So it's 3 doubles with a chain one in between each, and that's our shell. Okay, so now we're going to chain one, and that's going to move us to the next chain, and we're going to work a V-stitch. So a V-stitch is just a double, chain one. I'm sorry, double, chain one, double. So it makes a little V. Go into that next chain, a double, chain one, go right back in there with another double. So there's our V. Chain one gets us to the next chain, and into this chain we're going to work a shell again. So remember, it's a 3 double crochet with a chain one in between. So go in with a double, chain one, go right back in there with another double, chain one, go back in there one more time with another double, and there's our shell. Okay, so now we're going to chain one to get us to the next chain, and into the next 4 chains we're going to work 2 double crochet. So right into that very next chain with 2 doubles. I'm trying not to split my yarn. There we go. So there's 1 and 2 into the next chain, 1 and 2 into the next chain, 1 and 2. Let's see, how many was that? There's 1, 2, 3. So 1 more into that next chain. 1 and 2. All right, so now we're going to repeat our little sleeve. So if I fold that a little bit, you can see how it makes that little sleeve area. So we're going to chain 1, that moves us to that next chain. We're going to shell into there, so that's 3 double with a chain 1 in between each. So you just yarn over. I'm going to fold this again so it gets that out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, into that next chain, double, chain 1, go back in there with a double, chain 1, go back in there one more time with a double, and there is our shell. So to move us to the next chain, we chain 1. Into that next chain, we're going to work a V-stitch. So that's a double, chain 1, double. So double, chain 1, go back in there with a double. Chain 1 to get us to the next chain. And into the next chain, we're going to work the shell again. So double, chain 1, go back in there, a double, chain 1, go back in there one more time with a double, And there's our shell. So we chain 1 to get us to the next chain, and we have 2 chains left. So to end round 1, my cats have the zoomies, of course. Perfect timing, guys. Okay, into the last 2 chains, we're going to work 2 double crochet. So after that shell, make sure you work that chain 1, and then come down into the second to last chain. We're going to work 2 double. 1 and 2, and then into that last chain. It's a little wonky. So if what we're looking at right now, let me show you. Let me grab something to point with. Just use my pen. So right there, where my pen is touching, that's the last chain. Right here is the bar of our slip stitch from closing the ring. So our chain 14, we slip stitched into the first chain. Right there is that slip stitch. And then right here, what looks like a little heart, that is the chain 1 that we did to start round 1. So this looks like it may not be anything, but that is the very last chain that we're going to work into. So yarn over, and we go in there with 2 double. 1 and 2. All right, pull up a loop, and this little pile of stitches is round 1. So what we're going to do is let's make sure your double crochets are facing you, and somehow or another my tail got flipped back through there. All right, so now what I want you to do is just to fold this around so that the shells and the V-stitch are poking up, and then the solid double crochets across here and across the back, that makes the solid portion of the angel and on the back. Okay? Churchy. So this is what our little piece should look like right now. And you should have 32 double crochets and 18 chain 1 spaces. So let's just together, let's count these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just count the doubles first, and then we'll come back and count the chain 1s. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and that last one right there is 32. All right, so that's our doubles, and then here are, you can tell where your chains are because that, you know, it's a little bit of a gap. So we have 1, 2, 3 right here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Skip all these doubles. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And if you need to, you know, if counting the posts aren't, you know, if you have trouble with that, turn your work and count all of these stitches across the top, and then you should have, let's see, what's 32 plus 18? Let me do the math real quick. 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 50. So if you count, if you hold your work like this and you just count your stitches across like that, you should have 50 stitches. All right? Okay, so after all that work, we are going to move on to round 2. So go ahead and slip stitch to that first double. So again, there's our slip stitch right there. The heart is our chain 1, and then right there is that first double. Go right in there with a slip stitch. And that is the end of round 1. All right, to move on to round 2, we're going to chain 1, and into that same double that we just slip stitched into, we're going to work 1 double. So just like that. 2 double crochet into the next. Sorry about that. Okay, where were we? 2 double crochet into the next. So we have a double, 2 double. Into the next, we're going to work 1 double. Into the next, we are going to work 2 double. So we have for round 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now we are going to chain 1, and we're going to skip all the stitches of this sleeve. So what I want you to do is go through here, and I want you to count your 9 chain 1s. 1, 2, 3. So all I'm doing is putting my fingertips in there, and you know, the big gaps is how I know that that's a chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Into that very next double crochet, I want you to work 2 double. So I'm going to pinch the next double with my middle finger and my thumb, and I'm going to push all these stitches for the sleeve area up, turn it just a tad bit, yarn over, and go right into that that next double crochet after the last chain with 2 double. Just like that. So now we've isolated our little sleeve wing area, and we don't have to worry about that anymore until we work the wing area. It's out of the way now. Okay, so now we're going to double into that next double. And then across the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochet, we're going to repeat what we just did. 2 double into the next, 1 into the next. Repeat it again. 2, 1, 2, 1 across these next 6 double. So we're going to go 2, 1 into the next, 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2 into the next, 1 into the next. And now we should be to that next chain 1 space. So what we're going to do is chain 1. Sorry, my nose itched. Oh, I bumped my camera. Good grief. Okay, sorry. All right, chain 1. And then again, we're going to count off our 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to pinch that very next double and then get all these stitches out of the way for our sleeve wing area. Get back on my hook and come right into that very next double crochet with a double. I gotta turn my pattern page. I'm sorry, it's not one double, it's two double. Go right back in there with another double. Okay, now we're going to double into the next. Two double into the next. And then one double crochet into that last double. Just like that. Okay, so now we should have 24 double crochet and 2 chain ones. Well, we know our chain ones are in our little armpit area, so we can go 1, 2. So we got our 2 chain ones, so let's count off if we've got 24 double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Good deal. So here is what our little piece should look like now. Okay. So let's slip stitch to our first double. So once again, there is the bar from our slip stitch. The little heart right there is a chain one, and then there is the top of our double. So let's slip stitch to the first double, just like that, and chain one. And that is the end of round 2. And don't weave in this tail, because the tail is what we're going to use to tighten down the little neck hole. If you're putting your work around, I think I just completely lost my words, your clothespin. So obviously this 4-weight yarn is going to be way too big for this clothespin, but if you're working with your thread, that is what we are going to tighten down around that neck area. All right, so for round 3, let me get back on my hook. I'm going to go ahead and just get that tail out of the way. I'm going to bring it out here. There we go. All right, round 3. We are going to go right back into that double crochet with 2 doubles. The double crochet that we just slip stitched to, I meant to say. Go right back in there with 2 double crochet. Now we're going to front post double crochet around the next double. So here's the one we worked into. Right here's the next one. We're going to front post by going in on, and I'm right-handed, so to hold my work facing me, I'm going to go in on the right side of the post, come out on the left side, yarn over, pull up a loop, and work my double crochet as normal. Okay, so now throughout the rest of this pattern, when we work, I'm sorry, pattern, I meant to say row. When we work our front post double, I want you to pull your work forward, and then right behind the front post that we just worked, right here, there we go. Right here is the top of the double crochet that we just worked around. You're always going to skip this one for the rest of this round. Throughout the rest of the dress, it's not even an issue. All we are going to be doing is working around the post of doubles and into chain spaces. So round 3, it's very important that you know that we are skipping the top of the double that we just front post around. If you work into it, what that's going to do is add stitches, and we are actually going to do that towards the end of the dress. So this round, we're going to skip that. So if you just keep your work like this, and you hold, your work so that you can see the post of that next double, the top of the next double is always right to the right of it. So technically the stitch that we're going to be skipping is going to be behind. So to be able to see it, you got to pull your work forward. Okay. So whenever, the rest of this round, I'm not going to say skip the next. I'm just going to say, where our next part is. So for instance, we just front posed. Now we're going to double crochet into the next. So I want you to pull that down. Make sure you're not working into the one we need to skip, and double crochet into the next. Okay. So now we're going to chain 1, double crochet into the next double, we're going to front post around the next double. So yarn over, go in on the right, out on the left, pull up a loop, and then just work your double crochet as normal. I need to mark off where I am on my pattern so I don't get lost. Okay, we just front post. Now, into the next double crochet, we're going to work our V-stitch. So we're going to double, chain 1, go right back in there with a double. Oh, just like that. And now we're just completely skip that chain 1. Just pretend like it's not even there. We're going to front post double around that next double. So go in the armhole, come out on the left, work your front post, double crochet into the next. So just drop that down. Make sure you're not working into the same double that you just front posted around. Double crochet into the next. Chain 1. Double crochet into the next. My stomach just growled. Front post around the next. Okay, mark that off. V-stitch into the next double. So make sure we're not working into the one we front posted around. So V-stitch into the next, that's a double. Chain 1, go back in there with a double. We did this. Let's see, front post around the next. Double into the next. So pull that forward, make sure you're not working into that. Oh, I forgot to yarn over. Double crochet into the next. Chain 1. Double into the next. Front post around the next. V-stitch into the next. Double. Chain 1, double, let's see, we just V-stitched. Okay, front post around the next. Double into the next. So I'm making sure I'm not working into that one. Double into the next. Chain 1. Just completely skip that chain 1. Pretend like it's not even there. Double into the next. front post around the next, all right, and we are going to V-stitch into the next. Front post around the next. And then if we did it right, double crochet into the last 2 double. Amen. Well, I got it. Double into the last 2 double crochet. Thank you. Okay, so that round is probably the most hard, the hardest round of this entire piece is what we just worked. Okay, so let's count. We should have, and for now I'm just going to count the double crochets. I'm not going to count the chain 1 spaces, and I'm not going to count, you know, 1 V-stitch, 2 V-stitch. I'm just counting, well, actually, you know what? Forget that. Let's just count the top of all of our stitches. We have the cockeyed one right there. There's our first double. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37 stitches all the way around. Oy. Okay, so let's get something, move on to easier rounds. How's that? All right, let's slip stitch to that first double. So once again, right here is the little bar of our slip stitch. Little bitty one right here. That's our chain 1, and then the one laying sideways, that is the top of our first double. Go right in there with the slip stitch. And that's the end of round 3. All right, so for round 4, we once again chain 1 and right back into that same double crochet that we just slip stitched into. We're going to work 1 double. So go right in there with 1 double, double crochet into the next, and then we're going to front post around the front post. So it may be a little hard to see, but you can feel it. It's kind of sticking up right there. We're going to go right around that front post, just like that. Let's see, front post. Now we're going to come to the chain 1 space right there, and we're going to work our V-stitch. So right into that chain 1 space with a double, chain 1, go back in there with our double. So there's our V-stitch. And now we're going to find that next front post, and we're going to front post around there. And then jump to that next chain 1 space right here. And we're going to work a granny shell. I like to call this a granny shell because it's the main shell used in granny squares, or, well, sometimes. Anyway, so it's 2 double, chain 1, 2 double into that very next chain 1 space. So 2 double, chain 1, go right back in there with 2 double. 1 and 2. Oop. Okay, so now we front post around that next front post, which is a little wonky, but it's right there. So we front post into the next chain 1 space. We're going to work the V-stitch. So you can kind of see it right there. Into that next chain 1 space, the V-stitch. So again, that's a double, chain 1, double, front post around the next front post, into the next chain 1 space, we work the granny shell, 2 double, chain 1, back in there with 2 double, 1 and 2. So right there is our next front post. So we front post, chain 1 space, we work the V-stitch, front post around that next front post, granny shell into that next chain 1 space. So you can see right there, it's our next front post. So front post around there. And then into the next chain 1 space, we work the V-stitch. So that this chain 1 space is right in the armpit area. So double, chain 1, double. There's our next front post around that. Chain 1 space, our granny shell, 2 double, chain 1, go back in there, 2 double. Front post around that next front post. And we work to finish round 4, we just work a double into the last 2 double. Easy peasy. 1 and 2. Slip stitch to our first double crochet to end the round. Chain 1, pull up a loop. And there you go. There is round 4. So let's count what we have. Let's just count the stitches. We're not going to say chain 1s or any of that. Let's just count the stitches. So we have the one that we just slip stitched into. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay, so I realized after I started counting I shouldn't have done that. What I need to do is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 front posts. 1, 2, 3, 4 V-stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 granny shells. That would have been a lot easier. All right, to start round 5, slip stitch to your first double, chain 1, and we're going to double crochet right back into the same double we just slip stitched into. Go right back in there with a double. We're going to double into the next double. Front post around the next front post. And now we're going to jump to the chain 1 space and we're going to work our granny shell. Again, 2 double. Chain 1, go back in there, 2 double. Front post around your front post. and granny shell into the next chain 1 space. So essentially we're repeating round 4. The only difference is we're not working V-stitches into any of the chain 1s. We're working the granny shell, I'm sorry, into each chain 1. So we front post around your front post. I need to get some slack. Jump to that chain 1 space and work your granny shell. Chain 1. Okay, front post. Granny shell into the chain 1. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1. Go back in there. 2 double. Front post. Into the chain 1 space with your granny shell. Okay, so I am going to let you guys work this around. So all you're doing is front post double crocheting around your front post and granny shell into the chain 1 space. Just repeat that around and I will meet you at the last front post, okay? So I will be right back. Okay, so I just worked my last front post, and to end round 5, we're going to work a double into the last 2 doubles. Double and double. Slip stitch to our first double crochet. And that is the end of round 5. And we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of our granny shells, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of our front posts. All right, so let's move on to round 6. So we're going to chain 1, and for round 6, we're going to change it up just a bit. So we are going to start it off the exact same way we just did round 5. We're going to double crochet into the first double, same one we just slip stitched into. Double crochet into the next. Front post around our front post. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work a larger shell. So we're going to work 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. So go into that chain 1 space with 3 double. Chain 2. Go right back in there with 3 double. 1, 2, 3. Front post around our next front post. I gotta get some slack. Okay, so into the next chain 1 space, we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double. So we're kind of increasing the shell a little bit. So 2 double, chain, chain 2, 2 double. front post around your next front post. And now we're going to go back to that larger shell. So 3 double into your chain 1 space, 3 double, chain 2, scooch all that over, go back in there with 3 more double. Come over and we're going to front post around our front post, into the next chain 1 space. We're going to work this slightly larger. We're going to work 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. Oh. 1, 2, chain 2, back in there with 2 double. Front post around our front post, chain 1 space, 3 double, chain 2, shift that to the side, go back in there with 3 double, 1, 2, 3, front post, the next chain 1 we get the 2 double, chain 2, 2 double, 2 double, chain 2, back in there with 2 double, front post, three double, chain 2, 3 double into the next chain 1, 2, 3, chain 2, scooch that, go back in there, 1, 2, 3, front post, into the next chain 1, 2 double, chain 2, 2 double, 1, 2, chain 2, scooch it over, go back in there, 2 double, front post, and to end the round we're going to work 1 double into the last 2 double crochet. Okay, so that is the end of round 6. So let's slip stitch to that first double, and let's count what we got. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double shells, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 double, chain 2, 2 double shells, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 front posts, and this is what our dress looks like so far. All right, so to move on to round 7, get myself some slack. We are going to chain 1, double right back into that same double we just slip stitched into, double into that next double, front post around our front post, and into the chain 2 space we're going to work 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Oop. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, right back in there with 3 double. 1, 2, 3. Front post around our next front post, and go into the chain 2 space with 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. So that is what we are going to repeat all the way around. So each chain 2 space gets the 3 double, chain 2, 3 double shell. And then you front post around your next front post. You know, adjust your stitches as you go if you need to. So it's front post, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Front post into that chain 2, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Front post into that chain 2, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. And you just repeat that around, and I will come back on this last front post, okay? So I want to get mine done off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that around. I front post around that last front post, and to end the round, we double crochet into the last 2 doubles. And that is the end of round 7. So we have, still keeping our front posts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I realized halfway through counting I should count the row that we just did, not the beginning. And then for the 3 double, chain 2, 3 double shells, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Okay? So this is actually coming out really cute for you know, a 4-weight project. We can work the wings, and then I'm thinking for the halo, you know, maybe we could just kind of just glue it to, well, no, that won't look right. I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's move on to round 8. So for round 8, get back on my hook. We are going to slip stitch to our first double. Chain 1, double into the very first double crochet that we just slip stitched into, double into the next. And now here's where we're going to switch it up a little bit. I gotta get comfortable in my chair. Okay, so what we're going to do now is into the front post, there we go, into the front post, we're going to work a right into the top of it. So if we follow the post up slightly to the right, I have black ink all over me. Here we go. So here is our last front post. If we go slightly to the right, that hole right there, that is the top of our front post. So if you turn your work just a tad bit to where you can see the top of all of your stitches, so the front loop and the back loop, or I like to call it the heart. So we have the post of the front post, and then slightly to the right, the heart, that is the top of our front post. So we are going to be working around the front post and into the top of the front post. So what we're going to do, so we are going to go right into the top of the front post. So come up and then go slightly to the right, right in there with a double. And then we're going to come down and front post around the front post. And now what I want you to do is lay your work forward. Get my tail out of the way. And you can see the legs of the double that we just worked into the top of the double. I'm sorry, into the top of the front post. We're going to work a double right back into the the top of the front post. So yarn over and then just pull it out of the way. And right there is where we're going to work a double. So just like that. And if you turn your work over, you can see that you've got 2 stitches coming from that front post. And I'm going to work this with you guys all the way around because I know that this can get a little tricky for some. Let me mark off where I'm at. All right, so into the chain 2 space, we're going to go in with 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Chain 2, scooch it over, go back in there with 3 double. And I just had a thought. So if you think that you are going to have a hard time keeping track of the top of those front posts, let's get a yarn that's a different color and my scissors. All right, so I've got this blue yarn and I'm just going to cut, how many front posts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to cut 9 chunks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I realized some of these are going to be way too long, but what I want you to do is insert your hook into the top of the front post, grab one of your little strands, and pull one side through. Go to your next. Go in, grab one of your little strands, and pull it through to that next one. Man, this pink and blue are really pretty together. It reminds me of cotton candy. Into the next. So like I said, follow that post up and slightly to the right. Pull your stitches apart if you need to. Slightly to the right. Right there's the top of your post. I'm sorry, that lost focus. I will make a note of this on my my little filming notepad that I keep all my notes on, to have all of your 9 pieces cut first so that when we get to round 8, you've already got this ready. So this one. And then this one, I'll go ahead and put it in there since I've got my stitches in there already, but there. So now you should have a lot easier of a time finding these stitches, right? Finding the top of your front posts. Okay, so let's get back at it now. So into the top of our next front post, and you can just kind of hold it out of the way. We're going to work a double, front post around the post, and then we're going to go right back in there. So if we move our work around, you can see where the tail is coming from. See it? Right in there. Okay, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Scooch those over, go right back in there. 3 double. All right, come down. Double into the top of that front post. Front post around the post. there. That helps keep it to the left side. Yarn over, go right in there where that your yarn is coming from, and you can see right there's the top. Perfect. Okay, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double into the next chain 2. One, 2, 3. Sorry, I needed to adjust. All right, so I take my tails and pull them to the left side of my work. Yarn over, go right to where those tails are coming from. Work a double, keeping them to the pulled to the side. Front post. Yarn over, and then look where that tail is coming from and just push it right through there. And double. There we go. So you can get those tails out of the way. Jump to that next chain 2 space and work 3 double. Chain 2, 3 double. Chain 2. Go back in there. 1, 2, 3. All right, next, pull your tails over. Right there's the top of your front post. Come down, hey, come down and front post around the front post. Yarn over, pull that forward, and right where that tail is, or that yarn marker is coming from, push your hook right in there, and there's the top of the post. Get those out of the way. Perfect. Okay, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double into the next. Now, with us marking the posts, I think that you guys can handle working the rest of this round by yourself. So I'm gonna let you work this around, and if, like I said in the description box, what I'm trying to say is my email address. Shoot me an email if you need any help whatsoever, and I will help you out as soon as I can. Okay, so all you're gonna do is work the 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, double front post, double into that front post, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. All right, so like I said, I think marking the top of the front post with our little markers is going to really help you guys. So work that. I'm going to get mine done off camera, and I will be right back. All right, so I have repeated that around, and I worked my last around my front post. I got my double, front post, double. So now, and get these tails out of the way, we're going to double crochet into the last 2 double. So go in there. I'll pull that out. 1, and then into the last with 2. Okay, so we can pull these tails out. I don't think we're going to need them again, but just in case, I'm going to keep them right here. All right. So there is the end of round 8. So if you need to, it might, be bunching up like that. Just get in here, pull these stitches around. You're not going to hurt anything, and that'll get it to lay flatter. Just like that. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of like a Tinkerbell dress or like a fairy dress. Okay, so to move on to round 9, we're going to double crochet into the very first double. Oh, I'm sorry, slip stitch. We forgot to end the round. Slip stitch into the very first double. Chain 1, go right back in there with a double. Double into the next 2. 1 and 2. Front post around our front post. And then we're going to double into the top of that next double. And you can see the top of it poking out right past that, the front post. You see it poking out right there. Double crochet into there. Now we're going to jump to that chain 2 space, and we're going to work 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Two, 3, chain 2, back in there, 3 double. You can scoot your stitches around if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to skip the next 3 double and then come down here and we're going to double into the next. Front post around our front post and double into the next, and you can see the top of that double just poking out right there. All right, now we jump up to that chain 2 space and work the 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Skip the next 3 double, come down and into that next double, work a double, front post around the front post, and then double into that double that's just poking out right on the side. Just like that. Okay, so I think you guys can handle this round on your own. We're going to go right to that chain 2 space, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, skip the next 3 double, into that next double, work 1 double, front post around our front post, and then that little double crochet poking out on the side, work a double crochet into there. Jump right up to that chain 2 space, and again, 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Skip these 3 double, come down, work 1 double into the next, front post around our front post, and then right on the side, there's another double poking out right there, work 1 double into there. And you just repeat that around. Okay, I am going to work that all the way around. Where's my end? Oh, until I come, well, once I work into this, around this last front post, I will come back. All right, so again, email address is in the description box if you need any help. And I'm going to get mine done off camera and I will be right back. All right, I've repeated that around. I worked my 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, skip 3, come down, doubled into the next double, worked my front post, and then to end, I'm going to double into that little double poking out from the side, and then double into the last 2. And that is the end of round 9. So we slip stitch to the first double, chain 1. All right, so we move on to round 10. We've got 2 rounds left, round 10 and round 11. So we're just about done. So for round 10, we're going to double crochet into that very first double, same one we just slip stitched into. Double into the next 2. Front post around our front post. Double into the next, so make sure you're not working into the one we skipped. And the only difference between this round and round 9 is that we are going to work a chain 1 before and after our shell. So we chain 1, and now we just jump up to that chain 2 space, and we're shell, I'm sorry, our 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Chain 1. Skip the 3, come down and double into the next. Front post around our front post. Double into that next double. Make sure we're not working into the one that we have to skip. And now we chain 1, jump up to that chain 2 space, and we work 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Chain 2, back in there with 3 double. Chain 1, skip 3, double into the next. Front post around our front post. Double into the next double. Make sure you're not working into the one we skip. Chain 1, and come up to the 3 double. Come up to the chain 2 space. Work our 3 double, chain 2, 3 double. Two, 3. Chain 1. Okay, so it's all bunched up. We'll fix all this later. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys to finish this round by yourself because I think you can do it. The only difference is that we're adding a chain 1. So we are going to, we chain 1, so we skip 3, come down, double into the next, front post around the front post, double into the next, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1, skip 3, double, front post, double, and chain 1. And so I think you guys can handle that. Like I said, if you need any help, email address is in the description box. I'm going to get my round done and I will be right back. We are almost done. Okay, so I've repeated that around and I'm coming to my end. So I worked my 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, chain 1, skip 3, double, front post, double crochet into the next double, and to end the, to end the round, we double into the last 2. Slip stitch to our first double, and that is the end of round 10. So your piece should be kind of, you know, folding up like this, but we will take care of that in a moment. We are going to work the last round of the dress, and then all we will have left is the border, the wings, and the halo. All right, so the last round, we chain 1, double right back into that double crochet that we just slip stitched into, double into the next 2 double, 1, 2, front post around our front post, double into that next double, and now the only difference between the last round we just worked, round 10, and round 11, the round we're currently on, is that we chain 2 instead of chain 1. So we chain 2, jump up to that chain 2 space, and work our 3 double. Chain 2, back in there with 3 double. Chain 2, chain 2, skip the 3 double, come down to that next double, and work our double. Dang it. The dress is getting big, so it's getting hard to work on underneath the camera. Double crochet into that next double. Dang it. Front post, around the front post, double into that next double, chain 2, jump up to the chain 2 space, work our 3 double, chain 2, come back down in there with 3 double, and then chain 2. All right. So I think you guys can handle this. The only difference is that we're chaining 2 instead of just chaining the 1. Alrighty, repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you at this last front post. All right, I repeated that around. I have my 3 double, chain 2, 3 double, chain 2, come down, I doubled into the next front post, and to end the final round of our dress, double into the next double, and double into the last 2 doubles. 1 and 2. Slip stitch to the first double crochet, chain 1, pull up a loop, and we are going to cut. All right, so now let me pull my camera out. Here is what our dress looks like so far. Now with the thread, it is not going to roll up quite as much, but all I'm going to do is come through here and just pull these stitches so that they come to the center of the chain spaces, just like that. So it doesn't bow like that anymore. Okay, so I am going to finish doing that with all of these. Just pull all these doubles to the tip of the chain spaces. And I'm going to weave in this end. And when I come back, we are going to work the border. All right? Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so I got that bottom end weaved in, and I went around and wiggled all my stitches around, so now the tips are all nice and straight and they're not flared out or like, you know, bowing. It looks beautiful. Now I just wish I had something I could put it on. I haven't the slightest clue what I could put this big one on. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out. Anyway, oops, let us start the little border. So sticking with our 4mm just for the 4 weight yarn, still sticking with the 2mm for the thread. We're going to get a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to turn our dress over so that the solid crochets, I mean, that's pretty obvious, that's the back, so that the solid chunk of the double crochets are facing us. We are going to go straight into the chain 2 space to the left of the solid doubles on the shell portion up here at the top. Not down here, up here. Okay, we're going to attach with a slip stitch, just like that. Chain 1. I'm going to pull that to the side. Now right back into the same chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 single crochet, chain 2, 3 single crochets. So go right in there, and you can work over your tail if you want to. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. I have a feeling this looks a lot better on my thread than this is going to look on this yarn. 1, 2, 3. All right, there is that tip. And now we're going to chain 1, skip 2 double crochets. I'm sorry, skip 2 double crochets. So this one right here, this one right here is probably going to be covered up with your single crochets, so it may be really hard to see. But what we're going to do is we're just going to single crochet into this last double of the set right there. So if it's easier, just think of it as chain 1, single crochet into the last double of your shell. I don't want to say shell because technically throughout the pattern, that wasn't the shell. Anyway, all right, so now we're going to chain 1, come over, we are going to, okay, sorry about that. It is a little hard to read my chicken scratch. Okay, we're going to come down to the front post, and we're going to work 2 double into the top of that front post. 1, 2, and then we're going to front post treble, pardon me, around the front post 2 rows below. So not the front post right below, we're going to go down another row. So right here. So yarn over twice, not this one, but come down even farther around that one. Pull it up a little and then work your treble crochet just like that. And then back into the top of that front post, which is way easier to see this time. We're going to go right back in there with 2 doubles. 1, 2. So just like that. Chain 1. We're going to skip the next double in the chain 2, and the first double crochet of our little set, we're going to work a single. Chain 1, come up to the chain 2 space, and we're going to work our 3 singles. I gotta get some slack. Chain 2, scooch that over and go right back in there with 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we chain 1, skip 2 double, single crochet into the next, chain 1. We're going to come down to the, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Come down to the front post, work 2 double, front post treble around the front post double 2 rows below. So here's 1 row, here's 2 row. Come down, and I always like to pull it up just a bit and then work that treble, and then pull that to the front, and right where all those doubles are coming from, go right back in there and work 2 more doubles. Chain 1, skip the double, the chain 2, single crochet right into that next double. Chain 1, jump to that chain 2 space and work 3 single, chain 2, scooch it over. I didn't mean to yarn over. We're going to go right back in there with 3 more singles. Chain 1, skip 2 double, single into the next. Chain 1, get some slack. Come down to that front post and work 2 double. Front post treble around the front post double, 2 rows below. Pull up a loop just a bit and work that treble. And then go right back into that same front post double and work the 2 double. Chain 1, skip the next double and the chain 2, single crochet into that next double, chain 1, and then back up to the chain 2 space. All right, so I think you guys can handle that, the rest of that by yourselves. So we singled chain 1 into the chain 2 space, 3 single, chain 2, 3 single, chain 1, skip 2 double, single into that next one, chain 1, come to the top of that front post double, work 2 double, and then you are going to front post treble around the front post double 2 rows below. So here's 1 row below, here's 2 rows below. Come right back up into the top of that same front post double and work 2 double. Chain 1, skip the next double, the next chain 2, single into the next. Chain 1, you're back up to the top and you just start it all over again. Okay, so you repeat that, and once you get that done, you may need to go back through here again and adjust your single crochets to make your points nice and pointy. All right, I am going to get mine done off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I repeated that around and I ended on my last front post, and then I went right back in there again and worked my 2 double. So now to finish our round, our border, and also before we get too much farther, bear with me, my neighbor just decided to start mowing again. And I think he's off the lawnmower right now, so it's not moving. Anyway, okay, so we are going to chain 1, come down here, we're going to skip the next double crochet right there, single crochet into the next. Mark off. Chain 1, skip the next double, single crochet into the next, which is the one that the very first double of the round. Chain 1, skip the next, single into the next, chain 1, work all of our stitches on our post like we have before, so 2 double into the top of our post, front post treble around the front post double 2 rows below, go back in there into the front post double with 2 double, chain 1, skip the next double, chain 2, single crochet into the first, or into the next double, chain 1, and to finish we are going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet, which I realize is a little hard to see. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and we are done with the border. Cut, pull that. Okay, so now I'm going to go through here and I'm going to move and kind of adjust these single crochets around, just like this. And then I'm going to weave in my white ends from my border. And then we have our wings and our halo, and we are done. Okay, so I'm going to get these ends weaved in, and I will be right back. All right, so I got those white ends weaved in. So now let's get the back of the dress facing us, and we are going to start a wing / sleeve. Okay. So like I said, with the back of the dress facing us, I'm going to come to the left side. I'm going to get my yarn. And I want to show you guys something real quick. I don't know if anybody noticed this from the intro or pictures or thumbnail, any of that. But if you notice, there is a difference between my two thread angels. If you look at their wings, you notice how this one's a little bigger than this one? I'm going to let you guys decide which one you like better. I don't know. I like them both. The reason I did two different ones is because I thought the purple one's wings were a little too big. So I thought, well, if we only did a certain number of stitches around, it would be different. Anyway. So what we're going to do, the difference between, let me rephrase this, the difference between the two angels, my neighbor kicked on his lawnmower, the difference between the two angels is this one has 10 stitches around and this one has 12. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys decide which one you like better, and I'm going to show you how to do both. If you want larger with the 12 or smaller with the 10. What we are going to do is we are going to pick up our piece, and right here, can you see that post right there of that double crochet? We are going to go right around that and slip stitch, chain 1, and pull that down, go right back in there with a single crochet around the post of that double. All right, now chain 3. I am sorry about my neighbor and mowing. All right, so now if you want to work the 12 stitches around for the larger wing, I want you to go right into that little hole right there. So if you follow this double crochet up right here, see that hole right there? I want you to work another single crochet in there and then chain 3. If you want the smaller one, jump right over that to the first unworked double crochet right there and single crochet in there. Okay? And now chain 3 into the next double, single crochet, chain 3, come to that next double, single crochet, chain 3, the next double, single, chain, dang it, chain 3, come to that next double, work a single, chain 3, the next double, work a single, chain 3, into the next double, work a single, chain 3, the next double, work a single, chain 3. Okay, so now let me get back. For mine, if you're following me, we should have 9 chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then right here's 9. I only chain 2. And then we are going to come down right to where the legs of this double crochet come into that, I think that's a chain. Go right in there, work a single, chain 3, and that's our 10th chain 3, and then just slip stitch to that first chain 3, go right into that chain 3 space and slip stitch, and then just hold on just a second. Okay, so if you want the 12, right after you work into that unworked double, come down and come around the post of that double crochet right here and work a single, chain 3, and then go in, follow the legs up just like we did. Follow the legs up, single crochet in there, chain 3, and then that should be your 12th chain 3, okay? So I'm going to take mine back out because I just want 10. And I'm going to come over and slip stitch into that first chain 3. I'm going to double check to make sure I got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, if you don't have 12, just add one somewhere just to get your 12. Get that tail to the inside. Okay, so that was round 1. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, go right back into that chain 3 with a single, chain 3, jump to the next chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, jump to the next chain 3 and work a single, chain 3, and you just repeat that around until you get back to the first chain 3. So chain 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, jump to the next one, single, 1, 2, 3, jump to the next one, single, 1, 2, 3. This tail is bugging me, so I'm going to take that to the inside. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, single into the next chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single into the next chain 3, chain 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into that first chain 3 space. And we're going to repeat that one more time. Chain 1, go back into the same chain 3 space you just slip stitched into with a single, chain 3, single into the next chain 3, chain 3, single into the next chain 3. Get some slack. 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, dang it, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, just about there, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, and then right here is my first chain 3 space of the round. So we slip stitch, and now we're going to work a round for the little border. So what this is going to look like is these little bumps on the edge all the way around. All right, we are going to chain 3, and we're going to work a 2 double crochet cluster into the 3rd chain from our hook. So we are going to count back 1, 2, 3, yarn over, go into that first chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go right back into that chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, lay that down and single crochet into your next chain 3 space. Chain 3, 2 double crochet cluster into the 3rd chain from your hook. So go down, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go back into that same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 of your loops. Lay that down and single crochet into the next chain 3 space. And you repeat that around. So I'm going to go ahead and let you work that all the way around, and I will come back and show you how we're going to finish it off. Okay, so I repeated that around. I have 1 chain 3 space left, and all I'm going to do is lay this down and work a slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. And there is our first wing / sleeve. Just like that. All right, so let's flip this over again, the back of the dress facing us. And now we're going to come to the right side. And we're going to follow the same concept. It's not going to be exactly the same through this bottom portion. I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. And again, you can see right here, that is the post of a double crochet. So if you want 10, we're going to attach into there, work a single, chain 3, and go straight to that first unworked double crochet. If you want 12, go into, you're going to attach around the post just like this, slip stitch, single crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, single crochet right around that post, chain 3, and then come right into the top of that double crochet right here. It's already got a double coming from it, which is the one that we just worked around. Go right into there with a single, chain 3, jump to that first unworked double. All right, so if you just want 10, we're going to start around the post of that double, slip stitch and chain 1, go back around there with a single, chain 1, 2, 3, and if you want 12, go right into the top of that double crochet right there, that hole, single crochet into there, chain 3, and go to the first unworked double. If you only want 10, just go straight to that unworked double. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work my single, chain 3 all the way around, going into each double crochet with a single, and I'm going to come back at this the last double crochet. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I worked that around. I singled into that last unworked double crochet, chain 3, and now let me lay this out so we can see perfectly what we got going on. All right, so if you want 12, single crochet where the legs of these 2 double crochets are coming down right there, this hole right here, single crochet in there, chain 3, and then come down, and even if you want 10, we're going to work this single crochet into the post right here, which is laying sideways, single crochet around there, chain 1, 2, 3, and that should give you your 12. It gave me my 10, and we're going to come over and slip stitch right around that first chain 3. Chain 1, single crochet right back in there, and now you just repeat the same thing as you did for the other sleeve. Okay? All right, so I'm going to let you guys finish that off camera. I'm going to let you guys work that. I'm going to finish mine off camera, and I'm going to finish it off just like we did this one, and I'm going to weave in all these ends, and then the final thing we have to do is to make the halo. So get your guys' wings done, get all your ends weaved in, except for this one right here. Don't weave in that center tail. If you're attaching this onto the clothespin, this is what we're going to use to tighten it down around our clothespin. Okay, I'm going to get all this done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all my ends weaved in, besides that middle one, and I want to show you, well, let me just move my camera. I have it propped up on my water bottle, and I think I may have an idea on what we can use this larger dress made from the 4-weight yarn on. But I'm not 100% sure, so I will test it out off camera, and if it works, I will show you, and if not, then I probably won't. All right, let's make this halo, and then we're done. So I'm going to go back to my pink, and you can use whatever color you'd like. We are going to start with a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to come down and slip stitch to that first chain to form a ring, and I always get my fingertips in there to hold on to the ring that it's forming. All right, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into our ring with 8 single crochets. So 1, and then I accidentally put my stitch markers up. I'm going to mark this first one with a stitch marker. All right, so there's 1, we need 8. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we're going to pull that tail. We're going to weave that in a minute. All right, we are going to slip stitch to our first single crochet. So take out that stitch marker, go right in there with a slip stitch. Sorry, my neighbor is still mowing. It's annoying. All right, chain 1, go right back in there with a single crochet. We're going to chain 3, single crochet into the very next single. And we're just going to repeat that around. Chain 1, 2, 3, single into the next. 1, 2, 2, 3, single into the next. 1, 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 2, 3, single into the last single, chain 1, 2, 3. This guy has been mowing for like an hour. And we are going to go straight into the first chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 1, go right back in there with a single, and now we're going to repeat that again. We're just going to chain 4 instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the next chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the next chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the next chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, come down, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the last chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first chain 4, chain 1, pull up a loop, and that is it for the halo. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to find my sharp, this one might work, my sharper needle, and I'm going to weave this in the center. So I can see I'm coming from right here, so I'm going to continue it around. I'm going to skip a couple of stitches, because I think it's a slip stitch and some other stuff that my needle will not go through very easily. And there we go. And close that up. And I'm going to go 1 or 2 more stitches right through here. And then I'm going to come back to lock it down. So I'm going to skip a couple of strands from where I came out, go through here, and pull it. Now usually I would recommend to do it a little bit more, but since this is going to be hot glued to the top of your angel, it's not going to come out. So now I'm going to take this other tail and thread that, and we are going to weave this through some stitches to get us to the center. So I'm just going to come straight through this chain, through the legs of that single and the slip stitch, and then I'm going to come through all of this chain, some of these stitches, and I am going to call that good, because like I said, this is going to be hot glued to the back of our clothespin, and or what I've got, my idea. Okay, so once you get this made for your clothespin, you want to hot glue it so that the pretty side is to the back of our clothespin angel, and then the side that has all the ends weaved in, you want to put that on the head, so it's going to look like this. Okay? All right, so once you get your dress done and you are ready to assemble, what I want you to do is get your clothespin. My daughter drew a face on this one. And I want you to put your dress on your clothespin, just like that. And then take this tail, thread it onto your needle, and I want you to come in and out, in and out, in and out of these stitches. Pull that tight, and what that's going to do is close it up around the little indentation right here. And then finish with weaving, back through a few stitches, come back through stitches, do it one more time, snip, and there you go. You are tightened down around your clothespin. And then you are done. So you can add a little something around the waist, like in the description box, I'm going to have the link to my first guardian angel that I made, and she does have a bow. I think I just hot glued it right there. I kind of didn't want to do that for this one. All right, so I am going to stop my video, and I am going to see if my little idea that I've got is going to work for this big dress. So give me just like 2 seconds, You guys won't even notice anything. I'm going to stop and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have looked all over trying to find, pardon me, trying to find something that I could make, or I could just put this on to try to make an angel, and I can't find anything. Honestly, what I was going to do was take a water bottle, put this on the water bottle, and you know, if you just needed to cut the bottom off just to make it a little shorter, no big deal, right? Well, I have these little round wooden balls, and I thought, well, I could hot glue the little ball on top of the water bottle, and then, you know, hot glue the halo onto the little wooden ball, but it did not look right. So if you guys can find anything to make an angel that big, that would be awesome. Let me know in the comment section or in the description box. I've got links to all my social medias. You can go down there and see, you know, contact me however you want to. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys make, you know, your adorable little angels. Oop. And, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what's next. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.